Welcome to Fine Living, presented by Jim Reif Builders on 1240 Radio WOMT.
And good morning and welcome back to Fine Living here on 1240 Radio WOMT. We were off last week for Memorial Day. First and foremost, we hope that everybody enjoyed Memorial Day. And again, to remember exactly why we have Memorial Day.
Yes, and thank you to all those veterans that served our country and sacrificed.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Jim Reif is with me today on the program from Jim Reif Builders. Today, Jim, we want to talk about signing the contract. Once we had the proposal. We talked about that a couple weeks ago, or as you like to say, the proposal, not an estimate. What should people expect, and what should we know?
Okay, we're getting ready to sign that. So a few questions that may come up, like what's the payment schedule? How often do we pay you? Mm-hmm. I can't answer for every contract, but I can tell you at our company, you pay us once a month.
Okay.
So that payment is for work done the previous month.
Okay.
So we collect the down payment. We kind of hold that. And that'll be applied towards the final invoice, but then we bill you once a month for work done the previous month so that you know what you're paying for has been done.
Okay.
It's been done on site.
Okay.
Most credit unions, banks, and financial institutions will work with a title company on a bigger project. So if you're borrowing any money from any of those institutions, you'll probably work with a title company. They oversee the distribution of funds. They oversee to make sure the contractor's getting the work done in a timely manner, and he's not overbilling for work too early so they don't get too much money ahead. And then they also make sure they collect lien waivers and things to that are real important.
There's a lot of detail that goes into this, and a lot of organizing and keeping on track with who's doing what. As you mentioned, some people are not getting overpaid or underpaid.
Correct. And it's all safety precautions that have been put in place through the years to make sure the consumer and the bank or credit union is protected.
Sure. Because
they don't want their money, done, taken and used improperly.
Right, absolutely. So what happens after, we talk about, the payment structure and the down payments, and then what?
So behind the scenes, okay, here's what's going to go on. We're going to get permits going. We're going to do product ordering or purchase orders. Schedules will be built. We're going to have trade contractors get lined up. They have a little contract we get to them for your project. We're going to prep site information, copies of the contract, selections information, appliance info, cabinet layouts, plans, plumbing fixtures, so on and so forth. We're going to ask the client to do some homework in regards, we call it homework, to finalize some product information. So we want them to pick out their final plumbing fixtures. We want them to pick out cabinet styles and colors and designs.
Is that something that they themselves have to go out and buy and have delivered, or just pick it out? Like, how does that work?
Typically not. In most cases, we're going to send them to a showroom. There's going to be a professional there to help them, guide them through the products, to make good decisions. We're going to record all that information. They'll sign off on it. If there's any minor price changes, they would know about that at that point. So that's how we work all that. And it goes a gamut. It goes from plumbing to paint to cabinets to appliances if they're involved, and so on. In a few cases, the things they can purchase themselves are typically appliances. And then a lot of people like to pick their own light fixtures and purchase those.
Yeah, okay.
And put them on a credit card, get some your perks or something to that effect.
And again, at the end of the day, that's all stuff that you guys will then help install or whatever part of
Correct. We're going
the plan.
We're going to coordinate the scheduling of the delivery of the products. Even if it's the appliances, they bought them themselves. We're going to call that store and say, we need them delivered on this date. Can you make that happen? And yes, and make those things go and such. And we're also going to do, installation of what we need to. We have to finalize all the blueprints. We have to get a site plan if it involves an addition or a new home. And there's things behind the scenes. And one of the other things we're going to ask the client is we're going to ask them how is best to communicate with them.
Okay.
We like to do a lot by email.
Sure.
Because we have documentation.
Sure.
They can address it at their convenience. But, how late in the evening can we contact you if we need you? And what's the best email address? And do you take text messages? and different ways of communication so we can make the process go smooth.
Absolutely. And I think, that's one of the key things to remember when people are working with you is that, you're all about making sure that the customer is satisfied and being able to communicate with them on a way that meets their needs. Some people may only want to work with email compared to some people may want to talk on the phone. I mean, that's something that you and your team are fully capable of handling.
That's correct. And we're, if you have any special requests, we definitely would try to handle those and cooperate.
Absolutely. Maybe do some tweeting on Twitter for them or...
Well, I'm not going there yet.
We're not doing that.
Too many ways.
Jim, people need to get a hold of Jim Reif Builders if they're looking at a remodeling project, an addition, new construction. Now is the time to really connect with you guys. How do they do that?
We'd love to hear from them. You can get a hold of us kind of two ways. At jimreifbuilders.com, we got a contact information spot there. You can get a hold of us there and look at all our great pictures and see our scenario of our company. Call us at 684-6899. And we got a nice presence on Facebook. We'd love you if you'd like us.
And Jim, we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, Terry.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Fine Living, presented by Jim Reif Builders, the leader in new construction and remodeling here on the Lakeshore. Let their vision enrich your lifestyle. Tune in again next week for another episode of Fine Living on 1240 Radio, WOMT. To learn more, visit jimreifbuilders.com.